Yo, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray, Dope Living TV, the live version, for real, for real, for real. Check it out. The views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, man, welcome to the new week. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. Week starting. Do something productive. Make sure that you make a change in your lives. Again, if you're coming out of this pandemic the same way that you can into the pandemic, something wrong. You need to be doing something different, all right? Having said that, man, look, we're talking about relationship 101. Are you, question that I posted was, are you willing to make a change for your partner? Is your partner close with someone of the opposite sex? And if so, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? That's a good question. There's a couple other questions too. We're gonna open it up. There's a lot of questions actually that came through, and we want to make sure that we tackle each and every one of them. Another one: if you were to weigh the good and the bad in your relationship, which would come out on top? Chinua. So look, relationships can be the most fulfilling things in this world, and if they're done right. And the train of thought applies to any type of relationship, but romantic relationships are the ones that have sort of like a mind of their own. It's magic. But you can find yourself almost distracted from your partner, and it might be because you're not asking the proper relationship questions. Yeah, you know a lot of things about your partner by now, but otherwise the two of you wouldn't have gotten together. But are you making it a priority to really know who they are, to really know that person? How about understanding what you or the other person really want in a relationship? Well, you know, the truth is deep conversations or self-reflection just don't come as naturally to us as they should when we're close with somebody. You know, we can do anything we want when we're single. When we come close to somebody, we kind of get closed off. We kind of get a little shy, but it is understandable. But just going through this thing called life, it requires us to be on the go constantly and to multitask and always keep a lot of stuff in our minds. And sometimes we even place business, which I am definitely guilty of. We place business before our personal lives. So we, you know, in doing so, we create an unwanted distance. We space ourselves between each other, and they're in the same situation that we are because we're doing that to them. And it's a problem. It is a problem. And since they're the last person that you want to view as just somebody that you're dealing with, you know, that's somebody that you're trying to make life decisions with, your mate. So you have to ask the right questions to them. And there's a few ways to improve your communication and relationship, but the most fulfilling one, the most beneficial one, is to just ask both you and your partner the right questions. Now, the question might be, what are the right questions? I don't know. That's why I'm trying to get this information from you guys, all right? We have to give questions that we want, that we're asking, that we want to learn from each other. You know, we want to ask questions that give us the time to reflect on how they'll help us each grow, both personally as well as together. And once we choose those appropriate questions and take out time to ask each other, it can improve the relationship a little bit, okay? Because now we're multitasking, we're asking each other, what do you like? What don't you like? And don't be afraid to tell one or the other some things about them that you may not like, but be nice about it. You don't have to attack anybody. Be nice about it. Sometimes you can say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So, you know, just talk to the person in a way that's respectful. And I think it's better for you in the long run, as opposed to attacking someone, always telling them this is what you do and never seeing the fault in what you do. Quit attacking. Just become reciprocal with the questions. Speak, say what's on your mind, and be nice about it without trying to make them feel bad about themselves. You don't need to do that. It's counterproductive. So anyway, shout out to everybody who's making sure that their relationships are good relationships, and make sure that we're fulfilling one another. You can only, they say if you have a happy wife, you have a happy life. But what about the happy husband? What about the happy man in the relationship? Why is it always only about the woman? Women, you got to think about your man too. What makes him happy? What makes him sad? What triggers him? It's reciprocal, but most times the ladies only think about, well, he's not doing this, or he's not doing, or he stopped doing this, he stopped doing that. There's reasons why. And a man isn't going to stop doing something unless there's something else that has happened that you're not doing. Let's just keep it 100. So another thing, if you are always coming at him and not ever, say your support was there right at the beginning, okay, but now your support's gone. You want to do your thing because you feel that he's not doing what he's supposed to do. So you want to go and do your thing. All right, so when you start doing your thing, you're setting yourself up, ladies, and I'm just speaking from experience. You're setting yourself up for him to back away. You're setting yourself up. And believe me, if you come without malice, if you come to a man without always trying to attack him and say, you don't do this, so I'm going to do this. Okay, that's not cool, because now he's going to come back and say, okay, well, if you want to do that, then I'm gonna go do this. Right? You gotta not give ultimatums. The ultimatums aren't good either. You give an ultimatum to someone and say, well, hey, if you don't start doing this, then I'm going to do this. Okay, for me, do it. Go right ahead. If you're going to give me an ultimatum, do it. Instead of trying to talk to me, you're trying to direct me. I'm grown. I'm a grown ass man. Don't direct me. You can't make a grown person do anything. You can make suggestions, but again, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's how you come to the person that creates the problem. And men, you're the same. Okay, men always want to be the kings. You want to be the leaders. Okay, men, you want to be the leader? Lead. Make sure that you lead. Instead of always talking about it, be about it. So there's a lot of questions, and like I said, the three that I put on there: are you willing to change for your partner? Let's just examine that for a second. Are you willing to change how you are, what you do, some of your actions, the things that you enjoy? Are you willing to change some of that for your partner? A lot of people might say, yeah, I'm willing to change, but what is he going to do for me? We can't do that. That's the Janet Jackson stuff. What have you done for me lately? Okay. We can't sit and wait and expect something for something that we do. Okay. So you want us to change, then it has to be reciprocal. You change, you bend a little bit, I'm going to bend a little bit. I'll change. We do that, man. Look, I'm telling you, it bodes better for you, I think. We just got to make sure that we are reciprocal to one another. We explore one another. We compliment one another. We talk to one another, and we find out, what's that? That other question that I had is: your partner close with someone of the opposite sex? How many people have been in relationships where their woman is always talking about their ex is their best friend? They got a lot of guy friends, more guy friends than they do girlfriends. Okay, does that make a man feel good? Does it make him feel better? Or on the other side of that, is a man that selfish, I should say, not confident enough to, in his own skin, that his woman can be friends with another man? There's a lot. I'm telling you, look, y'all, this is going to be some good discussion this week, because we got a lot of questions. All right, everybody say what's up to my brother Maurice Bishop.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's going on with your brother? Happy Father's Day belated.
Happy belated Father's Day to you too, man.
Happy Juneteenth, whatever day that is.
Look, I told you. I don't think I told you the other day. I was on another podcast with my son, and his podcast, and he got the triple threat. He was born on Juneteenth,
Oh,
and he was born on Father's Day. He was actually born on Father's Day when he got
wow,
originally into this world 40 years ago. So
that's what's up.
yeah.
I kind of hate the fact that I don't like, and y'all can hate me if you want. I don't like Christmas babies. All right.
Well, I got one that's born on 13th of December.
How about the Thanksgiving babies? Okay, and then Christmas roll right back around.
Uh,
And if they, y'all give me gifts. I give you the gift of love. You ain't getting no
Give you
money.
some advice.
I give you some advice. That's right.
That was my daddy. You say, "Come on, boy. Let me give you some advice,
Yes,
and be
sir.
and be thankful that I'm giving it to you."
Exactly. So when you get past 18,
All right.
no gifts. No gifts. You get advice.
And
You
what
want
you
to
talking
drive a
about?
BMW around the
18.
block?
What you talking about? 18. That was too old, man. Shoot, we didn't get. I don't think. I think the last gift I got from my dad, I was probably about 14 years old.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Let's keep it 100.
Yeah.
I don't I don't know, man. It's like get one gift throughout the year. I give you the gift of love.
Hey, it never wears out.
Never will.
I used to have a shirt that said "Bank of Dad."
See?
Never. What is it? Never. What does it say? Bank of Dad. Uh, never expires or something like that. To that
Hey,
effect.
but here's the thing too. As we move through this pandemic, this COVID thing, that's a gift that keeps on giving.
It does.
It keeps on giving, and it gives in many ways. So, girl, if you're out there, I give you love several times a night. So, look, man, we're talking about relationships again. All right. And, it's good that you guys are on here because you guys got successful relationships. You, Gina, Uji, I got successful relationships. And, yeah, me, I don't. But, it's all good. I'm supposed to get on here today and say, hey, look, I am in a great relationship and everything is supposed to be hunky dory and everything is great. Okay. And I respect everybody, but see, I'm not going to say I'm not in a successful. I'll say that I am not like you guys. You guys are married. You guys
Well,
have
well, I
that
mean,
24
we're
hours.
we're we're in relationships, and I was catching a little bit before I logged on, and
Mm-hmm.
you were talking about giving and getting.
Mm-hmm.
And I've always, like I said before, if you want to be happy, you got to be willing to give just as as much as the other person does. And then when you get into those situations where you think conflict's going to jump off at, you know, uh, yeah, somebody got to back down. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And see if nobody backs down. If somebody,
It's going to be a fight.
you always want to argue about something. You always want to be right. Okay. I'm
Hmm.
guilty. I always want to be right. All right. But I also back down too. I give an opportunity to back down, and if the back down is not reciprocated, it causes a problem. It
Oh
really
yeah.
causes a problem. But
Well,
I'm not bashing anybody. I'm just saying, look, in order to have a successful relationship, you can talk about communication all day long, but if the communication is phony communication, it's fake communication,
yeah,
you want somebody to agree with you all the time, and you never see the fault in yourself.
yeah. It's
It's not cool.
not
It's
going to
always
work.
conflict.
Well, it's
It's
not
always,
going to work. We get our donkey moments. I mean, giving moments where ain't nobody gonna give, but we agree at that point not to go into no deep argument. You know what I'm saying? We just shut it down and we'll talk about it tomorrow or whatever, another hour or two later on something.
yeah. And see, normally with me, I'm not really arguing with guy. I'm really a quiet dude, man. I can be an ass. I give it that, but I don't want to be talked to. I don't want to be
What you
talked
say?
at.
You can ask me anything. You can't tell me a damn thing.
Yeah, you know what
I'm a
I'm saying?
grown ass man.
But we saying this, Maurice, and we're laughing about it, but that is so true.
Yeah.
Look thinner says, is the lack of both backing down because someone needs to be right? And that's a good point.
No, it's something that my daddy taught me to keep conflict out, and it's something that my wife knows to keep conflict out, back down, chill out. We can revisit that later. Whatever it is, it ain't no life or death situation. 9 times out of 10, it's just something that we disagreed about,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
So
And we'll just agree to disagree, and we'll come back later and visit it later.
So let me ask you this: Does your in your relationship, and no way am I trying to expose anything in your relationship, just asking questions, and these are
Sure.
honest opinions. Um, does like say that it gets to a moment where you both are disagreeing? Does she talk over you and never let
No,
you talk?
no, no. That's something. Like I said, we talked about before we got. There you go. Agree to disagree. That
Thank
is
you.
exactly what it is. And like I said, we agreed to that a long time ago before we got in a relationship. More or less, got married.
Hmm.
You know, so that actually turns into screaming and yelling when you start trying to talk over each other.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
we agreed just not to just to back up and just leave that alone. And like I said, we got a donkey moments. We're sitting in the bed, want to be on the other side of the bed, we're on the other side of the bed. It don't last that long usually because we know it's a donkey moment. And we call it donkey moment because both of us are being real stubborn. You know, it's going to happen. You know.
So I got a gang of questions that were sent to me, a
Okay.
gang of them, and
Hmm.
it's some of them I'm not going to use, but some of them I think we should talk about.
Okay.
Like here's one. It says, "Have you ever felt that your partner isn't taking your relationship as seriously as you?"
We wouldn't be in a relationship if she didn't.
See, but
No.
say you weren't in that married situation, and some things are going on. All right, do you think that they are taking it as
I
serious
don't.
as you, there's certain things that happen? Do you think they're taking it serious? Like, say for instance, something's going wrong, something's going on in your life, all right,
Mhm.
and you are desperately trying to get this person without trying to be, uh, a
A
whiny.
pleaser.
Yeah, you're trying to get this person to understand, and this person just doesn't care. They always talk. They only care about themselves, and they don't care really about what you're doing. I mean, that's the impression that you get. I mean, but do you think that that's really the impression, or do you really need to communicate a little bit more to find out if that's the way that they really are?
I can't answer that because I've been married to this lady for 25 and we've been together for 30.
Uh,
And like I told you earlier, believe it or not, a lot of people don't think we talked about this. Everybody that
mhm,
knows me, everybody that knows us, you know, we've had people try to throw, you know, devilment in our relationship, but 9 times out of 10 we'll recognize it, just to see if like if what we say is true about, having
mhm.
conflict. But that's the biggest thing. Keeping conflict out the relationship. It's a hard thing to do. Keeping conflict out of your life is a hard thing to do. More or less out of a relationship. It's gonna happen. But you just gotta recognize it, and continue marching on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so here's a question for you. That was actually given to me as well. Where is it? Would you say that things got better or worse over the years?
Hey, no better, no worse. I mean, I reason why I can say that is because I guess, Greg. I mean, we haven't. I mean, dude. I can't even on my freaking toes and hands. I can't remember that many arguments between the two of us. It's just been a good, very good relationship, and I owe that communication. You know, right off the riff. Right off
Mm,
at the beginning. I owe that straight to communication, and and my dad. My hero. He always says, "If you love someone, you'll never, ever, ever, ever. I mean, if you really truly love someone, you'll never say anything to hurt her, and vice
ah,
versa, and vice versa."
vice versa. Thank you.
Yeah.
Say that, please, and vice versa.
Yeah, she'll never, and that's something I told her from the beginning. And I said, but I just told her, hey, baby, I'll never do anything to hurt you. And I'm not going to do it just because you done it to me. I'm
Right.
saying, even if you done it to me, I mean, it would take me pulling teeth to do something bad to her. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, and I'm curious. Hopefully, Gina Anucci comes on. I'm curious to some of these questions, and I'm going to ask them again to them. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
Here's a question: Are you willing to and I think you are. You and your wife seem to have a great relationship. But are you willing to sometimes compromise? And what about her?
Sure. I mean, that's part of the relationship. There's going to be some times where I don't call it compromises. So I call it a mutual agreement. You know, I mean, it's gonna be some things where you're gonna say, well, It is what it is. Okay, baby, and vice versa. She'll do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's been some times where I've been dead wrong, and she says yes, but she ain't gonna come back and wiggle her finger and say, hey, I told you, you know,
Yeah.
and
So
vice versa.
it's about lifting each other up. Really, that's
Right.
something we can do. I mean,
And keep it. There's something else. Like you said, keep it moving.
mm-hmm.
Keep it moving. Life is too damn short to sit around and have a conflict about something that really you probably don't forgot about the next day.
Yeah, and I don't think there's times where both people are not going to be on top.
Yep.
Everybody's not going to have that great day. All right, you
Mhm.
got to be willing to support and suppress some of the life that goes on with the other person. Uh, that way, you two can at least come to some kind of happy medium before you go to sleep. You know,
Well,
but
I wouldn't say suppress. I wouldn't. That's a word I would never use. To me, and just like with her, we'd do anything to try to make each other happy. That's what it's about, you know. And as far as doing something to make each other sad, it's just not in the it's not in the thought. You know what I mean? It's not in the thought waves. So I try to do the best I can for her, and she try to do the best she can for me.
okay, so do you believe in always supporting what each other does? Always.
Always. We have always supported. I mean, it's been some things where I told her, right off at the beginning, she wanted me to go back into doing radio, and she encouraged me over and over, and then doing, managing groups and things.
Mm-hmm.
And I explained to her, baby, that is a hard life. I mean, you're out there, and it's a long, long, it's a lot of stuff. We're going out of town, you know, different places, different people. It's just a lot of stuff. Doing
Yep.
remotes with the radio station and stuff, and she didn't believe me until it actually started happening. I'm coming off work, and the first thing I'm sitting back here, another 5 hours back on computers, getting, doing stuff
Absolutely.
for groups, and then calling other people. People calling me all day long. It's walking back and forth here at 100 mile an hour. I was doing that stuff, man. And dude, I'm gonna tell you something. She didn't know how deep it was until one day I just let my phone sit down. It was quiet. She said, "Babe, that's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, you know."
It's a lot of work, and
And I told her, and the thing about it, it ain't work to me. It's something I love doing was music. So,
but it's something
yeah,
that you love doing, but
yeah,
the other person doesn't understand.
until it's
Exactly.
happening.
Yeah, they don't understand what the complexity of especially, and I can only speak from this business is. All right,
Hmm.
and doing this for a long, long, long time and consistently doing it. Um, I've had relationships and lost relationships
Yeah.
uh, because of it, because they're not understanding. If you tell them this is what you're doing, they'll be like, "Yeah, right." And that's like, okay, well, that makes me angry. Okay,
Yeah, right off the rip. I mean, kind of poo pooing
yeah,
your deal. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I'm like, wow, yeah, right. But all I can do is be honest with you. This is what I do. I don't have a reason to do anything else, and I'm trying to tell you this, but you're
yeah.
you're throwing salt into it.
Well, she knew me from doing radio in Texas, and she thought it was a one radio station thing. I said I'm managing the group and doing the radio stuff, and that's a whole nother thing. That's managing the group is like herding chickens, is what I used to say. Shoot, man, it's trying to get everybody on the same page at the same time right now is really hard to do. And I actually got elected into that part of it. I started back trying to do my radio stuff again, and then my son's groups and them stuff. They needed some people, and we were sitting there, and I pulled them together for a meeting with Def Jam
Mm-hmm.
at the office here. And when I pulled after the meeting with Def Jam, they said, "Pop, go ahead and be the meeting and be the manager for us." And they took a vote, and it was like, really. I said, "Y'all sure?" When I asked for meetings, so y'all need to, show up for the meetings. Hey, Gina,
Hey.
Everybody
what's
says
going
up
on?
to Gassy. It's
You
rough,
know,
Maurice. I mean, it's and the thing is, being in this, and Gina, I think you got the key to it as well. Being in this, and I don't want to say, I don't know how public you guys are, Maurice. I manage radio, but I do television as well. Being in this atmosphere, me personally, my privacy is I love my privacy. All right,
hmm
so if I say that I want to just do something not out there like that, okay, I guess I'm going to have to get somebody that feels the same way, because if you got a person that loves to go out, always wants to go out, and you kind of shy away from that because you've done it so much, you're always out when you're doing what you do.
Right.
I mean, do you think that creates a conflict of interest?
Yeah. Go ahead, Maurice.
I was said no.
We have never had that much silence on this show.
Not with 3 people sitting on the panel.
We have never had that much silence. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, like my wife, when I was doing all the radio stuff, hey baby, come on, go with me. She'd go with me sometimes, but when she went there, it wasn't like she was going to be going like she normally, like we used to go out. Before me and her go out, we dancing and everything,
Right.
having some drinks. No, this is business, and she see what's going on. There's been a few times where she went with the guys on concerts with me and stuff, and shoot, she said, y'all gonna be there all night long. Gonna be sitting at the table. I said, babe, that's where it is.
Gina?
It does cause a conflict.
Uh-oh.
I mean, but you can always decide on a resolution. It's not like you can't decide on that, but yes, it's going to be a conflict if one person enjoys one thing and the other person doesn't. Yeah, you probably will tolerate it sometimes, but not all the time.
That is the most vague answer Gina has ever given. That is the most vague answer she has ever given on here.
That's called a yes or no answer. Don't even question it.
Gina.
Yes, no.
But that's okay. We are talking, and for those that are just tuning in, we are talking about relationship 101. We're probably going to do this for a couple of days too. Maurice, before we go on with the relationship, let me know what day that you guys want to come. Your guys want to come, okay? So we can devote that time to them.
I think I got Walter's out of town right now, so I'll see.
Just let me know.
He was actually in Atlanta doing a set, so I think he'll get back into somebody's studio.
Yeah, just let me know. And Gina, there's a author that we're going to try to get on this week who I really need you to be on that show as well. All right.
Okay, I'm there.
Was coming up, trying to get some insight on some stuff.
Okay.
Well, again, we're talking about relationships. We do this every week, okay? Because relationships are in dire need of some help, okay? And if we can help, we can help, okay? And we got some professional relationship people on here with us, okay? Everybody say what's up to what happened to Maurice. Everybody say what's up to Marcella. I really need you to be on that show. Marcella, right?
Okay, I'm there.
It's coming up.
Hi, Marcella.
Trying to get some insight. Marcella, I think you gotta again. We
yes, the show
talking about relationships. We do this every week, okay? Because relationships are dire need of some help, and if we can help, we can help. Okay? We got some professional relationship people on here with us, okay? Everybody say what's up. Catch up, everybody say what's up to Marcella.
Hi.
Hey.
Hello.
Okay, we caught up now, Marcella. What you gonna have to do?
Hi, Gina. How are you?
Gina, tell her what she needs to do in order to catch up.
Yes, Marcella, you have to cut the show off. It sounds like you have it running on your phone.
What?
Or mute it.
We're gonna wait, y'all.
There you go.
Okay, now Marcella, just now that you're muted, you're gonna have to. How's she gonna do it? She gotta get on one device. She
right.
Gotta two devices.
Or either turn the volume down on the
turn the volume
phone
down, but she's still gonna be delayed. Everybody say what's up to Suzette Hayes. She's checking in.
Hey, Suzette.
Okay, but again, we're talking about relationship 101. We're trying to get some answers to some of these questions. Okay, now Gina, I asked Maurice a couple of questions. Marcella asked Maurice a couple of questions, and let's start over. How about that? The first one was, are you willing to change anything for your partner?
She can't hear. Or she had no mic. There you go.
Well, Gina here. Marcella, you there? You can't hear anything?
Maybe she didn't cut the mic on.
You got to cut your mic on.
Her mic's on. I just heard her talking. Her speakers.
Mic on. You got to cut your volume. Are you on 2 devices? Here, I'm gonna write it up here. How about that? That's what we do.
There you go.
Yeah, but we are talking.
I don't know.
There you go. Wow, her mic's working fine.
We're gonna see. That's okay. Read that. Are you on 2 devices?
1.
Okay. Oh, I think she's there though. Are you? She's there.
But her.
You can't hear.
Maybe her. Is her sound on? Is her sound on though?
I think what she did is muted her headphones instead of the other mic. So type in there, unmute your speakers.
Unmute your speakers. We're not gonna make that show.
Oh, she
well,
was that.
Well, that might help her logging off and coming back on.
We'll see. We'll see. Definitely. Okay. But Gina, are you willing to change for your partner?
It depends on what the change is. If it's changing me, no. If it's changing something that, you gave the example of, if you go out a lot and your partner doesn't like you going out a lot, yeah, I would change that because I don't want to do anything that's going to hurt his feelings.
I just going to say, yeah.
If you care about somebody, you care about, excuse me, the things that you do, if it bothers them or not. Well, but if it's something that where you're trying to change me, then I'm not the right person for you. Don't try to change me. It's time to go find somebody who is like that way you want to be.
Say rock on, huh?
Just says not change, compromise. Absolutely. So what if the person says, okay, so we're coming out of this pandemic, all right? Now a lot of us were afraid to go out like we normally did. Okay, before we went out, we went out all the time. We did our thing. We moved around. We're grown. Pandemic comes along. Now we had to slow things up a little bit. All right. So now it's lifting. You want to get back, but before it lifted completely, this other person is out there saying, "Hey, look, I'm tired of being in the house, so I'm going out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that because I want to get out." Okay. And the other person is still saying, "Okay, well, let's be practical about it. Let's be safe." And you see this person always on Facebook. Hey, I'm here. I'm there. I'm everywhere. And it's like, for me, that just nerves me. It gets on my nerves because of the fact that, you care about this person so much, but this person says, okay, I'm doing me because I'm bored. I want to be out there. You know what I mean? To me, I don't think that's a good thing.
No, I think it's some compromise in that too, though. If it's okay sometimes, but if it's like every weekend they want to go kick it at the bar or the club, then
that sounds like they want to be
every day.
Right. To me, it's something missing. They're looking for something. There's something.
It sounds like they want to be free. It sounds like they want to be free.
Yeah, they're looking for something. What if you're told, okay, well, you're not doing this anymore. So since you ain't doing it, I'm gonna go out there and if somebody else comes to me and makes me feel a certain way, then I'm gonna do this and that. Okay, that right there is the most disparaging thing you can tell somebody, that because you're not doing this that I require you to do, then I'm gonna go out there and find somebody that will.
But then they don't want to be with that person.
Yeah. You don't want to be bothered with nobody like that, because I'm gonna tell you something, ain't gonna be nothing but pain right there. You don't even want to start nothing like that.
Right.
Look Thinner says that is causing conflict in the house. Safe and compromise are needed.
Well, everything there has to be some compromise, even when it comes to situations like that. There's some give and take in everything. You can't just say, no, this is not going to happen, or it's going to go this way. Then that person's controlling.
Exactly. That person is controlling. They don't listen. They don't want to hear. They don't. You can say whatever you want to say. You can be as sweet as possible, but they don't want to listen to you because they got their own idea. They want their own way. They want to do it their way. Marcella says that's an excuse. You want to go out anyway. Okay. I agree. I agree with that totally. So don't fake it. Don't pretend. Just do what you're going to do, and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And then if we cool, we cool. You know what I'm saying? But at some point, there's going to be resentment. All right.
And it is just like Look Thinner said, it's going to cause conflict, and then you're going to start, you're just going to start feeling uncomfortable. Then you're going to be you are going to be the angry
Arguing.
Black woman all the time because you're not, you're upset and you just don't like what's happening. So that goes back to what I always say: don't accept the things that you don't want to continue to accept. If you choose to do it in the beginning, you can't a year, 2 years from now say, you know what, that upsets me. You go out every night and I'm upset, but it was okay for the first year because you wanted your representative to feel like, you're easygoing, and it really bothered you.
Mhm.
So okay, now I'm finna be the devil's advocate.
Let's go.
All right. What if you're getting comfortable with this person? You don't want to go out. Y'all want to sit and chill. Then she stops doing the things she did to get you in, no makeup and what if all that start cutting off?
Y'all know me, so I'm not going to answer.
Mhm.
Or vice versa. What if the guy stops doing the things, stops taking you
Well,
out?
it's a conversation that should be had.
Okay, I was just going to say, all right, okay.
Yeah,
and I think, go ahead, Gina.
Yeah, and once you had that conversation, then you'll know. Maybe there's a lot of times when the communication isn't there, the other person doesn't even know how you're feeling.
That's what I said earlier.
And you know what, and I'm gonna be honest, women do feel like men should know their needs without them saying it.
Well, we ran into those
That's
ESPN moments.
That's not a fair assessment, though. That's not a fair assessment. You're right, Gina, but that's not fair.
I didn't say it was fair. I said that's how we are.
So let me ask you this.
Those ESPN moments is what I got.
That's how we are.
So at what point do you all, because what point do you all feel what the man is feeling, feel his pain or anything? He can
When
try
he
to
tell us.
No. Like, come on, let's keep it.
When he tell us.
He can tell you all day long, but you are not there. You'll be like, okay, well, I understand that, but what about me? Okay, but what about me?
No.
I'm not saying you, Gina. I'm not saying you. I'm saying
the
women.
realest.
Come on, let's be for real.
The realest thing my wife ever told me when we started out together: don't try to figure me out. You'll go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is the realest thing. That's the realest thing she told me. And
what about me? That what about me statement? That's that would be a self-centered female.
Exactly.
If she's constantly saying, "What about me? What about me?"
She wouldn't be saying it verbatim like that. She'll be like, well, I want to do this, and how come you don't do this, and blah blah, all of this old junk. But it all turns around to what about me first? What about me first? Come on, man. Look Thinner says, should the husband have the final say?
Oh,
not all the time. No, not all the time. Not all the time. And it's funny because Robert and I went to a wedding on Saturday, and when the pastor got to the part about obey, the bride-to-be started laughing.
Get out of here.
And he stopped and he addressed it. The pastor addressed it, and he broke it down to her. Excuse me. He broke it down to her. And we had this conversation on one of the shows.
Oh, yeah, we sure did.
He broke it down to her what that meant. It did not mean for you to do everything blindly. Your husband said to do. Right. But what he said was if your husband is going out, making money, taking care of the home, taking care of you, taking care of his family, then there's nothing wrong with him having a hot meal when he comes home. There's nothing wrong with him having clean clothes when he comes home. So a lot of times people interpret that part
as slavery.
Right. and that's not, and the way he broke it down when he got done, she was like, I do.
So yeah, slavery was over back when was slavery?
And Look Thinner says, we do think that what I was talking about. And no, it's not fair or right. But and understand, thank you, Look Thinner, for that. But even though it's not fair or right, you still do it, okay? Suzette says there should be constant reminders when the relationship is changing, even slightly. Yeah. Some people say, now I'm the type of person, man, where, and I'm wrong. I give the subliminal messages as opposed to coming straight out with it, But you know, the thing is this: I shut down. That's just me. I shut down when I don't feel like I'm being appreciated. I stop. I shut down. I don't
But that's
necessarily break up, but I just shut down. I do.
great. That ain't.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. That's human nature. I mean, but we have to communicate. If
Yeah.
you want to
Right.
keep that relationship, you got to communicate.
Yeah.
And that was our. If people ask me, you know, what the success to our relationship is, that is it, without a doubt. Hands
Right.
down, communication with my spouse
Mhm.
is king. And I don't need no subliminal messages. And she I don't respond to that
Mhm.
stuff anyway. She say it flies straight over your head. You be standing there, people be talking to you, and it flies straight over your head. She'll see it. She'll pull me to the side, baby. You didn't see this. That's in my corner and got my back. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa. Although she don't miss very much, so
Mhm.
but I miss it. You know.
I'm the same way. I don't read between the lines. You have to tell me straightforward what it is
I
that you
got you.
want me to know. I'm not going to try to figure it out. I'm not that. I'm a very literal person. And so when if you throw in hints, I'm not going to get it. I'm just
Say
not going to get it.
if you mean ABC and 1 2 3, then damn it, say ABC and 1 2 3.
Absolutely. Otherwise, you're going to be upset because I'm not catching the hint.
That's
And it's
right.
truly that I don't get it. I truly
Right.
don't get it.
And I get that, okay. I gotta say this though, man. Look, and this is one of those shameless ones, okay. But I'm looking at I'm so glad that Core Water made the baby size, the baby feet, okay, because because everybody don't want to get all of this right now. We want to get some of this, okay. But regardless, even though it's the baby, even though Mama had a baby, okay, it's still a bottle that's made from 100%.
How many ounces is the baby?
The baby is how many ounces? 16.9 fluid ounces. What you need, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna drink. I mean, I'm not saying it's bad, but 30.4 fluid ounces, you're drowning, right? Okay.
You need 2 of those and some.
Two of what?
Yeah, the mama.
Every day.
We get it,
Every day.
if you're on the run, and you go into your meetings or whatever, you walk in there with this big old bottle. Core, I love you to death. Okay, get in there with that big old bottle. Look, come in there with the one that matches your suit. All right. That's the core moment of the day. Okay. Anyway,
All right.
Marcella says women want to be there for the guys too. Until you fully know a person, they may have to let you know if something is out of whack. We don't read minds. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Some of y'all do, though. Some of y'all think y'all do. They tell you this is what you are. This is what you are. No, you that person, and you don't know because you're assuming. And what happens? They told us this in the 3rd grade. What happens when you assume?
Make an ass out of you.
Yeah. Anybody? Suzette says right, Gina. Your what you said before was right. Look, then it says communication is a must. Good communication both ways. She doesn't read between the lines either. Bring it straight. Go for 34.
That's right.
Suzette said this is not a game. Got to communicate exactly what's on your heart and mind. And you're still standing says, what if you are the communicator and the other party is not? Good question.
Then guess what? You that might not be the person for you because being a good communication, I found out, is because we like to talk to each other for one.
But Maurice, hold on. The question: what if you are the communicator? What if you're not? You say that you're the communicator, but you're not a good communicator. What if you are? If you're communicating and you're coming at the person, that's not communicating. That's berating someone. So if you're communicating, it's reciprocal.
I got you.
You cannot hold on. You cannot communicate if you don't let the other person respond. That's communication is back and forth. It ain't one person saying everything, okay, and cutting the person off and this and that. You are not the communicator if that's the problem, okay? You are the instigator. That's what you're doing. You're going to start making things happen. You're going to start making somebody say, you're going to say the wrong thing. And again, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. How are you?
And that's it. It's how you say it, how you deliver it. You're going to get a different response from me depending on how you deliver it to me.
Mm-hmm.
And the delivery is everything.
Is everything. She says she means really communicate. There's no communication is communication. You talking about really communication. Communicating is communicating. Period. Straight up. Go ahead, Maurice. I'll cut you off, bro.
My bad. Hold on for a second.
But you know what? I mimic the way people approach me. If somebody approaches me in a aggressive manner, I reflect that.
Mm-hmm.
And so
An
you know.
action for a reaction.
Right,
Yep.
right. And so they think I'm coming at them, but I'm actually meeting them when they are. And that's just my personality though. I I
Exactly.
I, I come to people
The way they come
the
at
way they
you.
come to me, and they don't see themselves being aggressive, but they see me being aggressive.
Exactly. They don't see themselves, and they're actually the instigator. They're the ones that's doing it. Go ahead, Maurice.
The reason why, again, it was successful for us is because I love talking to my wife.
Mhm.
So, I mean, in order for that relationship to kick off, it seemed like to me that was it. I love talking to my wife. I love getting a point. I want to make sure she fully understands, so I do not, say something or do something that'll cause pain, and the vice versa. That we have a misunderstanding. The way we communicate is very important to me.
Right.
Yeah.
Suzette says that women are not mind readers.
Yeah, exactly.
Says communication counseling is needed. Carl says can't get down with non-communication. Silence is not golden. Absolutely. Suzette says your gut will tell you if that person's for you. We're too old to be guessing about whether or not we need to be together. Look, most people are thinking how to defend themselves before hitting the other person's feelings.
Yep.
Great
That's so
comment.
true.
Great comment. I like that comment. I love that one.
The core comment of the day.
The smaller bottle is easier to hold up for the core comment of the day as well.
I mean, the first time that we actually went on a date, we stayed up till like 4 a.m, and we were sitting around talking till 4 a.m. Neither one of us had that type of communication ever.
And that's sexy because I enjoy talking to intelligent people.
And
I like to have intelligent conversations.
A conversation has got to be intelligent.
So let me ask y'all this question. There's a couple of questions. Like Gina, I got a gang of questions from people when I started putting it out there. I got a gang of questions. All right. Here's one. Do you ever compare your previous relationships to the one that you're in now? Not saying you guys do, but
I don't. But I think we had that question before on another show. But I don't, because that's bringing
shouldn't
your
have nothing to do, right?
Right. You got to look at that person as their own individual and not try to size them up to stand up to what you feel that another relationship was.
See, I've heard a person say, I have never had nobody do this to me, or have never had this happen in a relationship. Okay, but it's new. This ain't the same thing. So when you say that, you're comparing that to the other relationship. Don't say that. Who cares what happened in the past? All right, this is happening now, so let's discuss it. Again, there's a communication. You telling me about I've never had this. Okay, so what? All right, who cares? Let's talk about why this is happening now, because as Gina said before, earlier, you've already put it with the way that you're coming. You've already put it to a certain level. So I'm going to react now. I'm not going to. The communication is gone. Now we're reacting to each other, which brings me to another question.
Okay, wait before you finish that question, because I don't agree with you on that. Because when you hear me say that, that's usually my exit out the door. That's usually my exit out the relationship. So I'm letting you know I've never been treated like that, and I'm not going to be treated like that now. So it's not a matter of comparing. It's a matter of my standards.
Okay, but my thing is but that I don't think it should ever be said in a relationship. Okay, because that person understands. Okay, we talked about that. You don't have to say that in a relationship.
I don't believe in a good relationship it'll come up.
Exactly.
It shouldn't. It shouldn't anyway. I mean, unless it's something stupid. I remember when such and such doing some stupid crap like that or something like that, But as far as comparing me to a previous relationship, I
don't feel like you comparing to it all. It's that could be so many scenarios.
Oh, it could
be. Say for instance, you in a relationship for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, and your significant other cheated on you, and you said, hey, I have never had anyone treat me like this.
But
this
Gina,
is not comparing
you're in repair mode.
Previous relationship.
It all goes
going in repair mode.
Interpreting those actions. You're interpreting those actions because you're already hurt. You're already scarred from what it is. Okay, so the slightest little thing leading towards the way that somebody else has treated you, that doesn't necessarily mean that person is treating you the same way. You're saying that because
you said never
anticipate in that. You can't honestly say that you've been treated one way or the other way, because you're hurt already. Other relationship has scarred you so much that you look for everything, and now you got out of that relationship, so now you're the queen, you're the king, you're out of that relationship, so now the slightest little thing that you feel is a misdirection, you're gonna react to it. Okay, okay, come on, man, get out of here with that. All right,
I still don't agree with you.
but you don't have to.
She said never. She said never, so she hadn't experienced it.
Exactly.
No,
exactly. And that's my point I'm making, Maurice. That does not necessarily mean that it happened in a past relationship. It means that I have a certain standard and I'm not accepting the way that you're treating me.
And that's great. So if you're not accepting the way that person is treating you, then communicate that with them. Not in that way, though, because when you're saying that, that's antagonistic, Gina. Okay,
well, I'm gonna be antagonistic because I'm gonna let you know I'm not gonna let anybody treat me.
You just open up the beehive and stir the wax up.
It's not what you say; it's how you say.
There we go. Here we go.
You know what? Depending on what the situation is, I don't have to be nice. I don't have to accept it, and I'm gonna get my feelings out there, and you're gonna know exactly how I feel. You're going to know exactly how I feel. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you how I feel so that you don't have to come back and say, well, I thought you meant. You know what I meant.
Okay, but in saying that, Gina, from going back to what you said before, okay, the way that you're coming at them, it's the way that you're saying you're going to elevate it. You're going to elevate that person now, okay? Because that person may not feel that they're doing anything, okay? Because they're being the nicest person that they can be, but you taking it the wrong way. So now you're saying
I'm going to go back to what I said in the very beginning. It depends on what's happening. It all depends on what's happening, on whether someone's going to react in that way or not. Now, if it's just something you throw out there every time you get mad, yeah, that you are bringing your luggage.
So I'm gonna bring this back up. Look, then, or said most people are thinking how to defend themselves before hearing the other person's feeling. So you're looking for something to come at that person for, when you don't really have to do that. It's not that big. Angie says some don't know what aggressive is. If you express yourself, they constantly misinterpret that for aggression. It's
yes, ma'am.
But hey, that's the
yes,
true
ma'am.
statement. It's a true statement. But again, Gina, it goes back to the point of it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
But it all depends on the situation, Greg. I'm going to tell you every time. It depends on the situation, because certain situations, I'm not going to be nice. You can't tell me that if your significant other went out and cheated on you or went out and stayed all night and you have no clue where they slept that night, you're going to be all, come on, baby, we need to sit down and talk. I don't think you're going to be like that.
For me, I'm going to tell you, for me, no, I'm not going to be that way, but I'm not going to come at somebody. I'm not going to come at you like that, okay? Because I'm a type of person like this. You're going to look, I know what I bring to the table, okay? And money isn't everything, okay? But I know what I bring to the table. So if you want to go out there and be aloof and be all in front of people, and you want to be that social butterfly and be all of that stuff, go right ahead, okay? But understand what you're leaving. Understand what you're leaving at the crib. All right. Just because I don't want to do all of that stuff does not mean that I don't care about you in this and that. Okay. But because you want to do that stuff, you're setting yourself up. You're putting yourself out there in the social arena, and anybody and everybody gonna come at you. You could tell me, oh, these are my friends. Okay. Which that was one of the questions, male friends, female friends. Okay. Are you cool with that? All right. But my thing is, if you're out there and you out there in the club scene and this and that without your significant other, you put yourself out there. I don't care what you say. Men are going to come up.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. But I can guarantee Maurice is going to agree with this comment I'm about to make. When you're with someone, it is not always going to be a perfect relationship. There are going to be hiccups and there are going to be problems and there are going to be issues that you have to deal with. And you're not always going to be calm with the issues every single time.
That's a great comment.
Again, it goes back to what we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes, communication.
Yeah. And that's what what all of this.
You just said something, about having female friends and she having male friends. I ain't got no problem with it because I'm secure in a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But her
That's like it.
friends are your friends.
Exactly.
Your friends are her friends.
There you go.
Nine
Robert
times.
don't have any female friends, and I don't know who they are.
Oh,
And I don't
okay.
have any
Yeah.
male friends, and he's
Exactly.
never met them.
Exactly.
If
Yeah.
that's a friend, you don't mind introducing them to your significant other.
Exactly.
Absolutely, Gina.
They already know.
Look, then it says you have to be conscious and make sure you're not comparing two different people, apples and oranges. Think it, but not say it. Suzette says you got to keep those other relationships in the back of your mind. When you hear the familiar crazy, you know what to do. Should never be said.
I like that.
To yourself.
I like that.
Our life
The
is free.
familiar crazy.
It makes us what they are. Gina, they said preach, okay? Gina got that little scowl on her face. See, she makes sure she said, yeah, I said it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
You got that twist in the side of her, right.
Marcella said this shouldn't be said making a comparison, but in the back of your mind, you should be mindful of things that you might want to do in a different way. I believe you do compare your relationships, the good and bad, for reference. You live and learn. What's up, cousin?
That's anything.
Mm-hmm.
That's anything.
Exactly.
I mean, good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
Suzette says this is how you carry yourself. People already know who you are, who you're
Yep.
with. Respect.
But you know,
That
That's the thing. Respect is the key, and that's great. All right.
definitely. But you know, you're always. I mean, unless you're young and you're just getting out there dating, you may not have anything to compare to. But as you get older, there are going to be some things, even in a previous relationship, that may trigger things in a past relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I like what Suzette said. That familiar crazy. You better
I
keep
like
that
that.
on the forefront. You better keep that on the forefront because you walked away from that for a reason.
Exactly. So let me put this out there. Here's another question. Have you ever lied to your partner to protect them or to maintain their happiness? So you made it indiscretion, okay? And your partner feels that you've done something. You know you did it, but you lied to them to protect them.
Nope.
Anything I do, I'm going to stand up to it.
All right.
Anything.
That's
Same
trust.
And
That's
that
the
means that I'm not going to do anything that I have to lie about it.
There you go. Think about the shoe being on the other foot.
So
Mhm.
that also goes to the point of
What if your spouse did that?
you going out like you do all crazy and shit. You going out ridiculously all the time. You got to be seen, okay? But the other person doesn't like you. Do you think that's going to put some doubt in their head that you make it a point? I gotta go out because they're not going. People are expecting me. You know.
You know, when my first marriage, I went out all the time, like every weekend. My girlfriend and we went out. It would be 0 below. We were at the club every single night. We did. And when I met my husband, he told me he didn't like it. He didn't like me going out all the time. And you know what? I stopped going out because I knew that it hurt him. I knew that it made him feel a certain way. So I stopped doing it. Like, if you can't stop doing something like that, then what's in your system that, you can't get away from that scene?
Exactly.
What's in your system?
Most of the time is alcohol or whatever substance that you partake of when you was out there.
Suzette says, what people expect you. Nobody's more important than that partner.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Especially out there in a club scene.
Marcella says she's up front all the time.
Without a doubt.
Hard to remember a lie. Truth is it. Look, then it says, I ain't on today, tomorrow, or
you know what? I'm with them because you're just gonna have to
use married.
You have to accept I have to accept the responsibility. You have to accept the responsibility. But one thing you could say that I am not a liar.
Right.
I am not a liar. You can never accuse me of that.
I got picked on about that so much when we first got married, not by my spouse, but by people around me. I'm being straightforward about everything. People used to say, "Man, how you tell your girl everything, baby, everything."
You're supposed to. That's your best friend.
Right. You know what? When it's time to go, if it's time to get picked up and go around the world, and she is, and that was the first. That was the first thing. I mean, we were best friends for 1.5 years, dude. Before we even, thought about dating or taking that next step in a relationship. But, like I tell my sons, I say, you don't have to worry about walking out the door, going down the street if you're doing what you say you're going to do, period. And,
Well, you know what? I mean, when you meet people, when you meet when you're out dating, you meet people, they may be doing things like going out because, they're by themselves and that's a way to socialize this and that. But a lot of times when that person meets that special one, if that bothers them, either they'll take them with them, and if they still are uncomfortable or not liking it, they'll slow it down. Robert was in the DJ scene
and
when
see,
I
that's
met
me
him.
too.
He was a DJ, and when I met him, he was going out every weekend.
Well,
And so he started taking me with him, and I compromised. I said, well, this is what he likes doing. This was what he does.
you want
And
to
I
support.
compromised, and we would go out every weekend. And then I was like, I'm very uncomfortable with this. I don't like crowds. I'm an introvert.
Mhm.
And I talked to him and I said, I don't want to sit at a bar with a bunch of people getting drunk. I
While
just
you
don't want
DJing
to.
to them, right? Or you
And
helping them get drunk.
so I said, let's compromise. Let's do something. Let's go to the bar or the club one weekend, and then let's do something I want to do another weekend. And that's what we started doing. And then eventually it evolved into, we'll go out. We don't do much bar stuff like that anymore, but we go out to enjoy each other now.
Well,
And you can't really do much of that in a bar.
no, you can't not anymore. You got to watch the bullets.
Yeah, you got to watch them bullets. You got to watch the COVID.
Fools, right? COVID. And me and my first wife, she met me, and I started DJing once we got married, and that's what I did. I mean, I was on the weekends. I was shoot 3 or 4 different bars DJing.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we couldn't go out. You go out. Hey, what's going on, man?
Mm-hmm.
You have a whole conversation about the DJ stuff.
And she's sitting, Marianne sitting over at the bar in the corner somewhere by herself.
I was my ex-wife.
That was me.
I was my ex-wife. No,
Oh, I'm
Marianne.
sorry.
Marianne, she'll just get up and start dancing.
But yeah, it's if you're talking about going on a date, the bar is not the place to go.
No, it ain't.
It's not
Especially if
intimate
you're
at all.
DJ.
You can't no, because I would be sitting at a table by myself. Robert
Yeah.
would be, doing his mingling and his DJing, and he knew
Doing what he's
even if
supposed
he
to do.
wasn't DJing, he knew who was DJing, and so it was kind of like I was in the room by myself anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's called all the time when you go eat just because the other party don't want to go. It's not just eating, okay? It's eating. You're going to the club because let's. I know somebody's told me, well, people want to see me. People. I'm a social person, and everybody wants to see me. If I don't go, if I don't go, they're gonna be mad at me. Okay. I mean, to me, that's insane. That's senseless. Okay, because you don't have to do that. You don't have to do what anybody tells you to do. You're grown. You're doing what you want to do. That's fine. That's great. You want to go out and be with these people. That's great. Okay, but are these people the ones that you want to be with? Okay.
Yeah, those aren't friends. Those are associates.
And they're
they're going to be angry because you don't show up at the party.
Right.
They are not friends. They're your party buddies.
They're incoincidental people. Okay. Yeah, you may have known them for a while. Okay, but if you tell them that you're in a relationship and they still continue to call you and say, hey, let's go out, let's do this, let's do that. Okay, those aren't your friends.
Man.
Those aren't your friends.
What?
And Angie says, you mean events like birthdays, etc. You got to go to everybody's birthday. You got to go to everybody's people that I can understand family, but you got to go to everybody's birthday, everybody's event, everybody's cookout. You got to be
a DJ.
Come on, man.
That's Go ahead and be a DJ. You know what's gonna happen. You miss one of those. Any of those you just mentioned. Man, you said you was gonna show up. They blast you out in public sometimes. So I actually put that down real slow, because being a DJ is a single man's job. That's what that is. That is not a married man's job. I mean, doing the managing of groups and stuff like that, I could do that because I could do that from home.
Mm-hmm.
So why do you say DJing is a single man's job?
Well, it's because you go get approached by everything, and when I say everything, I mean everything. My ex-wife wanted to blow up a couple of them bars and things. DJ, I'm serious. She told me, "Man, I put a stick of dynamite to this place."
Wow.
So, And that was kind of, she was really heavy jealous. She was super jealous though.
Suzette said, watch for the people who don't clap for your ass. I don't want to really look thinner. I'm saying, she said, what if he took you out before marriage and became a recluse after marriage? Don't want to go anywhere. Okay. You got again, like Maurice said, it is communication. And you know, Angie has some great points. All right. But again, you're not everything to everybody. If you miss a party, if you miss a couple of parties, if you miss a lot of parties, they don't care. Okay. They're going to do it with you or without you. Period.
Yep.
Robert still has some of the same friends, and he don't have some of the same friends.
Yeah, the ones that don't, the ones that aren't,
thank you, baby.
The ones that want to complain about you not being out there, those are not your true friends. Okay, you know, they can see you, you can FaceTime them. Okay, if they want to see you like that. Okay, but going out all the time for every single event that somebody invites you to, you know, I mean, to me, that's just, you don't care about the other person. Period. You only care about your pleasures and what you want to do, and probably looking for somebody else out there as well if you got to be out there all the time. That's just my opinion. But for me, again, do what you want to do.
But it is self-centered.
It is self-centered.
Because it's bottom line is, this is what I want to do, so I'm going to do it.
Go, I'm going to do it. And I don't care what you say. You can say whatever you're going to say. I'm going to do what I want to do. Fuck you, basically. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it is what it is. And for me, it's like, okay, you do what you do. I do what I do. Okay. You know, since you want to put that like that, since you want to do what you want to do, then I'm gonna go out and do what I want to do too. And then what are we gonna do?
That's the tit for tat.
It is tit for tat.
Not the tit for tat.
my thing is, that's what it comes down to, though, Gina. That's what
I'm not gonna do the tit for tat.
Yeah, of course you wouldn't, Gina. I'm this ain't really you. It ain't
right.
Them, you know.
Yeah, no, not
I know we're all in trouble right now, though. Everybody say what's up to Uji.
Uji man.
Hey, Uji.
Out to the people, y'all.
Out to the people.
Where that? Maurice, throw that right circle up.
Where it said,
it's up. It's bouncing, baby.
Right circle up.
It's bouncing, baby.
There it is. I'm gonna get a picture of all of us doing it. You're gonna have to get on there one day, Maurice, just so you can.
So, man, I'm actually finna change up internet services. I'm getting tired.
Or either you could put the picture, put this on your picture, your profile picture.
So okay, that day, because I got some shit going on.
That black fist up there.
Maurice, I got a inbox a few weeks ago. I just didn't put it up or say anything about it. But they said, "Is Maurice real?"
You an alien.
They said, "Is he real?" They said, "We don't never see Maurice."
Look, man, y'all can see me.
I'm like, he's real because he's talking. Okay?
I saw.
Trust me, I'm gonna move everything into another spot in the house.
So, Uji, we talking about relationship 101. We're gonna talk about it for a couple of days until yeah, I know, right? And we've asked some questions, man, and I'm not gonna go over the same questions. Matter of fact, let me bring some new ones up to you. Matter of fact, I'm gonna bring one of them up. Oh no, I ain't gonna do that. Look, here's one question that was sent to me. Has the way that you interacted from the time you were just friends changed over the years?
Has the way with what?
Has the way that you and your spouse or your significant other interacted from the time you were just friends, has that changed over the years?
Well, time grows people. You feel me? It ain't that people change. Time grows people. So you got to understand that if time that went by, to other people you seem different. But you know, all of this since we was grown, since we was kids, growing into a elder, is called evolving.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We are never the person we are going to be until the end. You know what I'm saying? At the end, that's when they say this man did that, this man did this man did that, this man in turn from doing this, from doing that, from doing this, from doing that. We evolve just like a Pokemon. You feel me? Real life. And you know, I gotta say it the way people can understand it. We evolve every day. And it ain't that have you changed, it's have you evolved. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't evolve, you're being held back. You know what I'm saying? Because you will never be the person that you was meant to be. Can you understand where I'm coming from?
I know, I get that. That's a good comment. Okay, matter of fact, let me get a course down. Are you Are you, and this is for everybody, are you a good influence on each other?
Oh hell yeah.
Who's to each other?
You and your spouse.
Yes,
Oh,
yeah.
are we a good influence?
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I tell you like this: influence can be bad or good. You could be
Are
a
you
bad
a good?
influence,
My question was, are you a good influence on your?
but I gotta get a whole round part. I can't just cut it in half.
He
can't
said
just
I
cut it
can't
in
say
half.
just yes or no.
I can't cut it in half. You could be
Oh,
a
you
good
can't do that.
influence or
You
a
know you
bad
can't do
influence.
that.
Now the whole thing about it is, with your partner, y'all gotta have if it's your partner and y'all meant to be partners, y'all gotta have that electricity going to the point of where y'all want each other to win.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all want each other to win. So that electricity, if that's your partner who you're supposed to be with, that electricity, that makes everything clear to the point of where it's not a question. You know what I'm saying? Now, you got to ask this for people who done broke up and this, that, and the other, la, la, la. But am I a good influence for my partner? We meshing right now. So everything that I do or anything that she do, we support each other. You know what I'm saying? So that is what partners are about.
So you the diddy part, I get that. Okay, but you
that's electricity.
we got sound effects up
Your
in this.
alienism.
Jenny, what do you think about that?
Ism, did you put ism on the end of that?
Yeah.
Jenny, what do you think about
Matter
that?
of fact, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
I gotta write that down.
Yeah, while you
write ism down. I'm doing a bunch of stuff right now. And ism is one of them.
What's your comment on that, Gina?
Oh, definitely. We both accent each other. Definitely. I think that if it didn't go in that direction, we probably wouldn't be together anyway, because my philosophy is always, when you get into a relationship, it should be to accent each other. That's the way it should be. You should accent each other.
You're right.
That's what it's about.
But when you're doing that, you're having fun. I mean, you both agree on a whole bunch of stuff when you're accent each other, like you're saying accent.
Mm-hmm.
I call it just straight communication. You know?
And you have to think about the good times when you have it, because those bad times are coming. I don't care how long you've been together, how good you think a relationship is. It's always going to be some hiccups there. And you just have to remember the good times that you enjoy. You should enjoy more good times than bad times.
I just been saying, what happens in that one spot where you have those little, where y'all don't agree on something or something ain't happening right? That's when you find out how much strength that you have in that relationship.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So,
but if again, that communication is so key. If you don't talk about things, that stuff it's like a volcano. It's never gonna go away, and it's just gonna come to a head and explode.
Yep.
So when it gets to that point, brings me to another question. Have you ever found yourself thinking, I'm not saying right now, I'm just saying in general, guys, have you ever found yourself thinking about a potential breakup?
Nope.
The situation gotten so bad that you start thinking of ways to break up, or when you should break up, or how you should break up, or
Maurice is saying no. Uji is saying yeah. I'm not gonna say yet.
Not right here. He said, "Have you ever?"
Ever. I'm not talking about now.
He said, "Have you ever?" So
never.
Hell yeah.
Never.
I had 3 girls and shit, and I'm like, okay, which one I want? I don't want this one, so I need to let her go.
We're not talking about playground. We're talking
about ever. Yes.
Ever, right? We're not talking about ever. We're not talking about just
that's
your
playground, man.
Marcella said yes. We talking about
hell
ever.
yeah. You'd be like, man, I don't want to, this one right here. I feel like she bringing me down. So now I gotta get rid of her, but I don't want to hurt her feelings because she fine as hell. So I want to be able to holler at her every once
in a while. Hit it a couple where.
Right, yeah. Here and there. sometimes, whatever, while I'm still trying to make my decision on what I want to do. You know, when the days are dark, I can call.
And it's cold outside.
You know what I'm saying? But hell yeah, you gotta figure out ways.
The days are dark and it's cold out. You talking about belly warmers?
Belly warmers, all that for real. You know, you gotta find. That's facts. But the whole thing about it is, you know, what some people don't do, they don't let stuff go neutrally. You know what I'm saying? You gotta find something that's gonna make it neutral.
Hello, sir. Will you be wanting a belly warmer this evening?
1-800-BELLY. 1-800-MY-BELLY.
Yeah, bring it.
Bring
it on. I'll take it. No problem. Bring it on.
Belly warmer. That's a new song. Give it to one of your people.
Hey, put that on one of your shirts. Look, then it says, when you're upset with each other, ask the question, how would you hold me if you weren't mad at me?
Just like this. The same way I would if I was mad at you. I want the outcome to be the same every night.
Angie says, without good communication, honesty is useless, period.
I'm just saying, ain't no sense in being mad.
Honesty, I'm sorry.
Mad always stresses people out. When you're mad, you get stressed out. So, and then when you're stressed out, you have a bad night. And
oh my goodness!
A big game. About 5-6 hours earlier than that. You know how they go to the movie 6 hours earlier the day before? You was like, man, I'm about to grade do this. We about to have we about to grade, it's about to go down. But look, when the situation come and a conversation come up and this, that, and the other, you are 5 minutes away from being happy when you F it up. All you got to do is not. I mean, because like the next morning when you wake up, you be like, man, damn. That would have been a lovely night. We both
said you're 5 minutes away from being happy.
5 minutes, I agree. You're 5 minutes away. Then
5 minutes away.
He or she says some old messed up stuff to just be like, you know what? I don't even, you know what? I'm good. I'm good.
Right, exactly. You're 5 minutes away and something crazy happens for real. I know. Please believe me, because I'm the type of guy that speaks his mind. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm the one that wake up like, I ain't even have to say that. Because it don't mean nothing really.
And then you don't even remember what the argument is about.
You don't.
No. Some people don't let it go. Some people hold it into that memory, bank it in at the right moment. They just bring it back up. Well, you remember I said this and that. I told you
ever when I was dating.
Please.
When I was dating, I mean, if it got to that point, I don't even say nothing to them. I just kind of roll on. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Uji is so right. You cannot sleep. You don't get a good night's sleep.
No, I get a good night.
Yeah. And I ain't gonna tell you what us men go through because y'all ain't going through the same thing. But we be like and stuff, and it's like
should have used the left arm, dude. There you go. the right one is specific. Because matter of fact, somebody did say, "What does the right fist mean?"
Okay, well, I mean, we can reiterate it.
He explained that.
We're gonna talk about that another time, though. Marcella said she was in a relationship, tried to talk to the person. They continued to say all was well and did not want to communicate. She started planning the exit. He wanted to talk.
Do you guys know?
I agree.
Do you guys know?
This shit was like.
Hey man, the right fist is only for the power to the people. Dude.
It was like this.
I want to ask a question. Like, do you guys know when a woman is planning her exit?
Do we know?
Do you know?
Gina, I don't care.
I'm about to say, but it ain't like we care sometimes.
Nah, because you're going to exit.
We know you planning your exit. Guess what? Because you ain't came and felt on my arm. You ain't grabbed my leg. You ain't put your hand through my head. You know what I'm saying? Something is wrong. So, okay.
So you do know.
All right.
Yeah. He's out.
What you doing at home? Bet.
Hey, I can't say the word. I can't say the word, but you just Scroll.
And it ain't, and look,
Stop.
and look, it ain't left to right. It's up and down because
Up
they
and down.
already in there.
Up and down. Scroll, and then you stop right there. Oh,
They
big
already
booty
in
Judy.
there.
Big booty Judy. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, girl, you so beautiful. You ain't even see me. I can imagine what you look like right now.
Yeah.
Woo.
Bigger booty Judy.
Right. But look, I got a question. So,
wait a minute. Marcella said he cried.
When you know she
Marcella
put the
breaking
extra,
hearts.
hey, put Marcella, put the other one up she put just before that.
Good question, Gina. Or this one?
That one.
That's why she cried. Did you get that? Started planning the exit. She told him he was done. He wanted to talk then. She was done at that point. She was.
So he cried.
That's said, Marcy, stop. Go ahead, Uji.
Okay, look. As far as like the feelings and stuff that Gina was talking about. When you just talk about the feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now, as far as the feelings go, what are feelings? How deep do the feelings go? You know what I'm saying? How deep do they go? You know, if somebody you met and you like, you know what I'm saying? They you know, you mess around and you think y'all cool and you say some stuff and then they be like, okay, well, yeah, okay, well, and it might be an argument or it might be just like all right, well, I'm about to go home, or if the other person be like, okay, well, I'm gonna stay, but I'm turning my back to her. How did that feel? How did that feel to you? Because you know, as men, we be strucken because we want to do something.
Gina, don't be quiet again. We have some quiet moments on the show today, man.
I'm just saying
Because you guys don't want me to be honest.
No, I want you to be
how
honest.
you feel when we got to turn our back because we don't want to really continue the conversation or nothing. Should we just like be like, you know, F it and be like, you know, we just had this argument anyway and start kissing on your neck and ear and shit?
Well, to address the question about how we feel when you turn your back, it makes a woman feel like you're ignoring her.
Ooh,
Wait a minute.
And that causes more problems.
Okay, so we should like actually be like, oh baby, you know, my fault. Do that matter?
Not to me.
Well,
do it matter?
It depends. It could be sarcastic, and if it's sarcastic, then that's gonna make me mad.
What if something hit your leg? Because it ain't sarcastic. Maybe we sincere.
I still want to talk about it because it was a problem. We need to get to the core. We can't sweep everything under the rug.
The core.
You gotta feel the mentality. You gotta feel the mentality. Something on your leg, but you want to talk about it. So therefore, if we don't say what you want to hear, it's turning your back to the back.
Exactly.
No, that's not true.
Yes, it is, Gina. Get out of here. I'm gonna mute you out right now. I'm muting you.
No.
I mean, I'm just for real with you.
Women like communication. We like to talk.
Y'all like a little bit too much damn communication because
we like to talk.
Gina, you can communicate, but then it gets to a point where everybody didn't say it too much, and it gets back into some other mess, man. Okay, but you look, we got the situation. It's situated. It's done. But then y'all want to keep on talking about it, and you say, "See, I was telling you this," and see, you
Greg.
Shut up.
It ain't that deep, bro.
Maurice, you
sound like the angry black man.
Yeah,
both of us.
Bruh. Yeah. How's he angry? He got in.
Who, both of us?
I know Greg sounds like it.
I'm being a conscientious objector right now because Gina, it ain't all
you're not doing that. I think
it's Guns and Roses, okay? It ain't all a band of roses, Gina, okay? And Maurice, you can't talk about that because you in a great. Look, y'all looking at y'all relationship now.
Look,
we talking about as a whole. Y'all got to get off of that. Y'all got to get off of that. He's married. Uji's married right now. We're talking about as a general, as a whole. Quit talking about your relationships. Y'all got great.
Well, I can only speak on mine.
No, you can speak on what you had before as well.
But they going for a reason though.
But we're talking about
it. You got her.
We're talking about it. Come on, y'all.
Okay.
That
They're gone for a reason.
They're going for a
And
reason.
all of
That's
those-
right.
Maurice. That ain't even
all
a
of-
piece of fame.
All of those things that you're talking about
my
is
nigga,
one of the
That's a
reasons that they
1990
are
fade. That's
gone.
when that was in the 90s.
And
That ain't
Gina,
even a piece of fame. He ain't even
Hold
fame.
hold on, y'all.
It was
Yeah,
a
he was
ball
really broke.
fade.
Hold on, y'all. Y'all heard what Gina said. It's a reason why. What I told her was that, okay, yes. What you're saying, Gina, you got a great relationship. I love Robert to death. That's my brother, okay? Maurice, got a great relationship. I love your wife to death. Uji got a great relationship. But look, Uji's the only one seeing the big picture. We ain't trying to ruin relationships right here. We're talking about trying to help people who are in relationships.
Right.
So think outside the box.
But I'm
not thinking about
the old
myself.
relationship. Think
I'm
about
thinking
the
about
older
myself.
relationship.
I'm thinking about my experiences.
Exactly. That's
But
what
listen,
I'm not thinking about myself
listen to
right
this,
now.
though.
Not today.
Your
Hey,
experience.
Right.
Think
Look how she
about
looking coming on.
think about it. You had those experiences,
people, baby.
but they weren't the experience you wanted. So that individual is gone, and you
But
moved on
that's
to
what
your
we're
wife,
talking
who
about, Gina.
you meshed with.
But
Okay.
Gina, that's what we're talking about. Give the experiences, okay? But you can't say that everything that we're saying right now is wrong, because that's not what you would do right now. That's what you did
But
in the past. Okay, so what we're trying to do is educate.
Nothing
in
changes
the
with
past.
me.
We're indicating,
Nothing changes
and that's
with me.
you. But just because we don't agree with what you're saying, we're not wrong.
I didn't say you were wrong. Everybody is
You're
going to have
calling
a
me
difference
angry.
of
I'm
opinion.
just saying,
I
hey,
said
man.
you sounded like the
Okay.
angry black
Let's-
man.
I'm
Let's
not.
put-
Okay, what I'm
let's
saying
put-
is I'm
let's
giving
put some-
experiences for
Let's
everybody.
put some
Wait.
water on this.
Ask her a question.
Let's put some water on this smoke.
Ask her one right quick.
We'll
Hey,
turn this
Suzette.
to
Let's say
fire.
hi to Suzette.
Hey, Suzette.
Suzette.
Y'all know I be raising my hand when I want to talk.
Go
You
ahead.
do be raising your hand like you in
Real
class.
quick, and then we're gonna let Suzette talk after that.
Okay. Now, Gina, I wasn't gonna let them gang up on you like that because before Suzette popped on, you was the only woman. I'm in the background, like y'all just talk. Y'all talking from
This is in the struggle. That's right.
Hey,
Okay, all right.
hey, I was not
Girl
ganging.
power.
That wasn't
My
me.
point is,
It wasn't me.
I would gently have to disagree with you, Gina.
It wasn't me.
And you too, Greg, because women don't want to keep talking. I can't speak for all women, but I don't want to keep talking. We can shut that shit down, and then we'll be all right tomorrow or a couple days, whatever. But I don't like all that damn talking.
Because we are in a serious relationship. We actually love each other.
He's bigger of a communicator than I am.
And I'm a
All the way
communicator.
real with you.
I
don't
am the
like to do all
communicator
this
in a
talking.
relationship. I like to communicate with Robert. Robert probably sometimes he probably like, if she don't shut up.
I wish I could say what I wanted to say, but I can't. So I'm gonna leave it alone.
So that's not true for all women, Greg. Let me just.
Patty, I didn't say it was true for all women. I never said that.
You was like women, y'all like to talk.
I said women. Okay, when I say women, it's a general.
No, that's not true.
It's a general term. I can't speak for
well,
all men. I can't speak for all women. I can't speak for
But my
everybody.
point I was making is, if there's an issue, or you like Uji said, you're having a good time, the day is going great, and then boom, something happens. I don't want to just sweep it under the rug and pretend like something didn't happen.
True.
But I mean, after you talk about it, you have a conversation. Look, now after that part you talk about, you have a conversation, and then it really still ain't came to a real head yet. So you don't want to really be like raise the levels up so far where somebody might throw something or fight or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Something bigger than it should. Right, than it should be, because a lot of the issues when you marry aren't big issues.
That's what I was saying, Patty. That's what I was saying. Okay. It's not a question of all of one gender doing this and all of one gender doing that. Okay, it's just exactly what the way Uji said. Let's let Suzette get a comment in.
Sorry. Hey, Miss Suzette.
Hello, Pat. How are you? How's everybody?
Good, Suzette.
Right now for you. It's plain and simple. When you meet somebody, it needs to be clear what we doing. Are we just in it for fun?
Right.
We in it for friends? We looking at the big picture? It needs to be defined. When it's not defined, you will always make the wrong mistakes. You'll always be somebody's looking for something that somebody else ain't looking for. Somebody's wanting something that the other person doesn't necessarily want.
Oh,
so
yes,
the relationship at the very beginning has to be defined. What are you looking for? Are you looking for something long term? Are you looking just to kick it? Are you looking just to club? Are you just get it out there so that way you don't want to
from the door.
So from the door, look, peep game.
Huh?
So after peep game, after you defined it, say after you defined it, all right, and you just now, like you said, when you're getting into a relationship, it has to be defined. That's cool for the first week or two, all right. But now, after you define the first part of it, say you might really say both of y'all like each other on another level. So y'all got to do a whole nother dictionary,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Because me and my wife,
as a relationship changes, as somebody else changes, you have to be sure that you can keep up with that change. Because
me and my wife had to define for like 20 years.
Well, you can always say, this ain't what I signed up for. This is not what you said.
Look, we had to define for like 20 years.
Okay.
All right, we had to define for like 20 years. Then all of a sudden, it's like,
like I said, like I said previously, you weren't on here. Like I said previously, as you see things change, it's small a little bit. Because if you don't address a change when it's small, that thing will grow like cancer. It will grow.
Absolutely.
You have to, and I catch stuff that I necessarily ain't really mean. It's not really, it's really stuff. Because everything that is worth, anything is worth having is for, anything is worth having is worth waiting for. You have to really put everything, you have to be a person that wants to be in a relationship. If you want to be in a relationship, there's some concessions that you wouldn't mind doing. Because my thing is, every argument is not a bad argument. Some things are informational. Some things are informational. And the information is good for you. So it tells you how you are to proceed or how you can proceed. So all the fighting and all the bickering about when he don't do this, he don't do this, it don't have to be like that. But all the information that you get, you have to store it up here or back here or up here somewhere.
Up there in the BDBs, right?
Right. You have to store it somewhere. And you can't forget what it is that the person is telling you. You can't forget that, because those things all add up. It adds, and like I said, you have to, like I told you the last time, you have you have to really pay attention to you have to really pay attention to who you're with, because those changes may be something that you can deal with or not.
Hey, I love you guys, man. Let me get to some of these comments real quick. Hold on, Patty. Practicing Law off of YouTube says, I've learned what modern women want: the power and benefits of a man, the privilege and entitlement of a woman, and the responsibility and accountability of a child. Bella Bonita says, a person who doesn't know how to communicate properly in a relationship will always feel like, yes, an argument. Look Thinner says, Greg, that person who overtalks does not know how to communicate. Yeah. Bella Bonita, look, where am I at?
Facts.
Look, Thinner, facts. Yeah, I'm sorry. Marcella says, exactly, Suzette. What are we doing? Clarify things. Angie says, true, Bella, absolutely. Bella says, a lot of people jump into their relationships with their issues. Oh, absolutely. Yes, Suzette. Look Thinner says, waiting and working for. Bella says, I refuse to deal with a person who doesn't know how to communicate. When I try to talk to you, if you feel everything I say is an attack against you, you're getting defensive, turning the conversation into argument. We shouldn't be together. Learn how to communicate. Absolutely, sweetheart. I appreciate that. Magnetic Vortex Resonance from YouTube says, for a large percentage of women, marriage is like landing a dream job. Then, a couple years later, demanding half ownership in the business entirely. Family law overwhelmingly favors women. That's the lawyer talking, though.
Oh, God.
That's
a way to put it.
I want to elaborate on all his thoughts.
Keep on going, man. Keep on going.
Recent Brookings Institute poll shows women initiate 84% of divorce. Let that sink in. Yes, sir. Go ahead. Who was talking? Suzette, what the hell are you doing?
My hair, I was long pony today at work, and I was just kind of twisting it up for the show tonight. So, so it could stay. I ain't got no hairpin.
Hey, when you're done, go to Chicago, go to the stables and get that horse's pony bell back. Anyway,
Hey, you took the words out of my mouth, but I didn't want to say it.
And I got his uncles and aunties in the next room. I sure got me some.
Oh, that's
I
that.
sure did.
Hey, it looks good on you, baby.
he told you that. Oh,
I steal every horse I find. I think I keep on around here. I sure will.
Maurice, he's making sure he got a horse blanket on his ass right now.
She said she'll steal every horse she sees.
That's right.
So that it looks good on you, babe.
And Uji, before you go in, she's a woman and a practicing attorney.
Okay.
All right, girl.
All right, girl. Go, girl.
Everything. Bella Bonita says Angie's still standing. Everything. She because Angie said, I'm sorry, learn to communicate, solves a lot of issues. She says everything.
That's what I said. That's what I said at the beginning of this whole show. Communication.
Maurice said that right off the tippy top.
But you know what? I'm like this. I tell you how I'm Gina. Gina was talking about situation. I'm like this. If I know what it is that I want, and the crazy comes and shows me something else, I don't argue with him. That's just why. We all grown. Why am I arguing with you? Why am I doing that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's no big deal. It's no big whoop. It's no shame. This just ain't for me.
Yeah, you have to realize. You have to realize.
Crazy.
You have to realize that every relationship is not going to work out.
Right. And
so you have to know when it's time to go. You don't have to keep beating your head up against the wall.
Absolutely.
And it's simple. It's real simple. You meet people and stuff, and the crazy when you see it coming down the street.
Yeah, you do.
Exactly.
and look, some of them can put on a good representation.
Do you hear
but
me?
it's gonna come out.
What that lady said on TV the other day? I'm gonna drop $1, but I'm gonna let you know this, and you can pick this up later on. You can see crazy when you see it coming down the street. People are crazy, but see, women have this innate feeling. Greg, women have this feeling that when they see you and they meet you, I could change them. No, you can't. We grown. We've been this way a long time. We just like me, just like Gina, just like everybody else. We all have our own preconceived notions of what's gonna make us happy and how we are. And somebody's got to be willing either to change, be with it, or they have to either change to be with it, or just be gone. It's no sense.
Go back to.
You have to
go back to look thinner. She said, "When a woman's fed up,
come on."
Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Not a damn thing.
People make relationships complicated because they're trying to make the person fit into their mold. Maybe your mold is not the one to fit in, because, baby, when I tell you that there's a mold for you, there's a mold for you. You don't have to worry about all that other stuff. Because if he wants to communicate with you, he gonna communicate with you. I always say this. I don't have a problem. I think I said this before. I do not have a problem with a man being the head of my relationship. I don't. But I always tell him, I'm the neck that turn the head. You better believe that.
Whoa.
That's right.
That's real cool.
I will never have a problem with you doing and stuff like that, but you're going to need a little help.
Look, personally, me personally.
And half of the spine while you playing.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
Now, me personally, me personally, I wouldn't care if my other half did more than me. You understand what I'm saying? She could be the breadwinner. I wouldn't care. It'll be cool with me, because I'm gonna make sure if I get home before her and she the breadwinner, I'm gonna have some food. I'm gonna rub some feet and everything. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's about being happy. And if she's the breadwinner, I want to make her. I ain't tripping. I'm the one with the D. You understand what I'm saying? I'm the one with the D, most definitely. So, you ain't never about to take. Look,
it's so simple. If you keep in your
you ain't never about to take nothing away from me. I'm the man, most definitely. But if you the breadwinner, and because your brain it did what it was supposed to do better than mine, I ain't got no problem with it. Not saying that my man ain't doing what it's supposed to do. I'm bringing it in.
Right.
But you're the breadwinner. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the Huxtables. It's just like the
equal.
Huxtables. Do the lawyer or the doctor make more money?
Yeah, it's equal. It's equal. You know, you don't want to ever do more. I don't ever want to do more for anybody else than anybody else would do for me. Because a lot of men don't like women that make a living.
I got
to make that money. Make that money.
So
you know,
please believe.
That's sexy to me. That's sexy to me.
They feel intimidated.
They do. A lot of men.
Well, yeah, some of them. Oh, okay.
I told Donnell when I met him, I said, listen here, let me explain something to you. There's going to be a lot of people that I'm going to know. It's going to be a lot of places I'm going to go. So you either go with me or be all right with it.
We were talking about that too.
And
so if you sign up for it, if you had that conversation and he signed up for it, how can you a year later, 6 months later, 2 years later, come back and say, I ain't
sign up for this.
I'm not okay with this.
But it's gotta
again, communication.
It's gotta be a degree of respect, and it's gotta be a degree of communication, because something happened, something happened that you didn't address, and that thing grew up to the point where you couldn't handle it no more. But you gotta be paying attention.
I do have to speak on some magnetic vortex renaissance.
Before you speak on it, let's read her latest. In my professional experience, over 95% of the time, the kids will go on to the mother. Our government has structured the family law process for children to be alienated from their fathers. Okay, go ahead.
That's true.
Well, I'm one of those 5% that got their kids. I got my kids in my divorce.
But it's still geared towards the child being with the mother.
It is geared to him, because I'm gonna tell you, I had to go back to court 3 times.
Well, I ain't never had to go back. I got mine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the whole thing
I was a single dad for almost 5 years before I remarried.
But you know what? When my talk show gets good, I'm gonna get myself a not-for-profit. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get myself a not-for-profit, and it's gonna be called. I should not. And y'all gonna take my idea? No, y'all not.
No,
I'm
just hold on to it.
Huh?
Yeah, hold on to it.
You and God, and then put it on when it's time. But go ahead. Not-for-profit. Go ahead, ma'am.
We're gonna have a not-for-profit, and it's gonna be an organization where a lot of men have not actually been taught how to be fathers. You know, men. You need all the mentors would be men that would be talking to them. All of the all the mentors would be men that would talk to them. All of the help that they would get in counseling would be men that they could talk to. I don't want a woman in the bunch. I just want all men. And I think that that's what they need in order to feel comfortable enough to let them know how they feel and the issues that they're having. The courts are like they said, the courts are stacked against the men because of women, and a lot of times a lot of these kids would do better with the men. And you know, tell you true, I know a few cases where women don't even want the kids and they just give them to the guys anyway.
Yeah. Suzette, make sure that you do contact Bella Bonita. She's an entrepreneur out in the Chicagoland area. She has several clubs, and she's got a whole bunch of other things that she's doing as well. So make sure you contact
Bella Bonita.
Bella Bonita, that's her name. Bella Bonita. Google Dr. Dawn Della Valle, whatever. I can't say it. And the name of the book. You should be able to get it on Amazon.
Okay.
Well, you know what's so crazy about that is I was supposed to got, child support and everything else that they get. I haven't seen one quota.
So let me tell you,
if she had been on the foot, they'd have ran me down to my,
took your driver's license away, locked you up.
Yeah.
Let me tell you guys this. And we're gonna do a part 2 of this tomorrow, because there was a gang of questions that I got that I didn't even touch on. But everybody on here made very, very, very. Everybody in the comments, great comments, great suggestions, great advice. All right, but the overlying thing is the communication. As Mari said at the beginning, we got to be able to communicate with each other, right? Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Let's just agree to disagree in relationships, and that way we can keep the peace, all right? But on the other side of that is that, if you're in something that you are not, and Angie said it the best, Angie Still Blessed said it the best. If you're in something that you're not happy with, is it worth being in? Now, maybe that person is worth it. Maybe you see some light at the end of the tunnel. That person is worth it, and maybe one or the other, you have to be able to say, okay, well, maybe everything I'm saying is not right? And maybe I do need to come down a little bit. Maybe I do need to stay home sometimes. Maybe I do need to communicate a little bit better, all right? Because it's not just the one person. When you start saying you don't communicate with me, I don't communicate with you, now you're pitting against each other, okay? Just communicate. Don't worry about who's doing it better or who's doing it worse. Just talk to each other and get it out the way. And that way, if you just sit and talk, one listens to the other. Don't talk over the other person. Just listen to each other and find out exactly what makes that person tick. I think that even though you get to a point where you're thinking of ways to leave, maybe that's not the way to do it. You know, I don't know. Magnetic Vortex resident says, I wouldn't advise young men to marry nowadays. Not getting married in your 20s and 30s is like missing out on buying the last ticket for the Titanic.
I want to say something about
Maurice, they tripping. They think today, boy. They go ahead.
I still got something to say about Miss Magnetic.
Mm-hmm.
They say, remember, men, 84% of women don't care about your struggles.
Let me find it.
They just hang out at the finish line and take the kids, pension, and home. Okay, now, what I want to say about that is, for real, you are 100%. And that is the problem.
That's the problem. Thank you.
All right, that's the problem. Look, when I was a kid and I was young and I'm mowing lawns, getting my little chippers and different things, breaking lawns and doing whatever side work I can legally, I had me a nice little girlfriend, right? She was bad. I was cool. Broke. We able to go to the movies and everything. Feel that. But peep game. When that dope dealer came around and bought her some chains and this, that, and the other, I lost her. You know what I'm saying? And that happens. And you got to understand that y'all women don't want to support a person, a young man, to doing the right thing, and you're going to grow with him. Y'all women want what y'all can get right now.
And make sure you stay. Right. Hey, before you get castigated and stabbed like Gina stabbed me, make sure you say that you're not talking about all women. You're talking about.
I'm not talking about all women, but now I gotta say women. I'm talking about a great percentage of it
in general,
because the sparkle and stuff get a lot of women's eyes, most definitely real life. And the whole thing about it, no, for real. Yeah, I graduated '89. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. You know what I'm saying? And seeing this from my own eyes. I'm talking about the nerd girls, and I was a nerd. You know what I'm saying? We all striving to go to college. We all striving to go to college, and we want to make a better thing, like, you know, something like what our parents we seen that wasn't doing that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Back in them days. But
Uji,
the whole thing about it is, look, wait a minute, I'm getting to the point. The whole thing about it is that the women, the majority of the women made a lot of us, because I went to jail because I was like, actually, I'm gonna sum it up. I actually was like, you know, I can't compete with these guys, and I'm smarter than them, so I'm gonna do some smarter shit. You know what I'm saying? On some drug level, and I passed them guys, and I went to jail. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of guys. That is the reason why a lot of guys go to jail, is try to keep their woman.
But hold that thought real quick and get back to it, okay? Because if you can remember at that time too, even the guys that had the great jobs were able to get those cars and this and that. They still didn't compare to the guys that was throwing out the shine.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's the point.
What's throwing out the shine?
Throwing out the shine, buying you stuff. You know, when you don't work for that money, it's easy to throw away. You know what I'm saying? And when you work for it, you can't throw shine out because you're paying bills. You trying to pay for your shine for them girls.
Yeah.
When you ain't working for it, it's easy to throw that stuff away, that money away. It's easy to just spend your money.
Yeah, most modern women.
My thing was, like you were saying, Suzette, what we need to do is have that little workshop, because that stops what Ujima was talking about. That really stops. That puts the brakes on. That put the freeze all over that.
And it's still going down.
But it's still going down now.
Because a lot of these young guys are being
don't have an example.
And they don't know how to be men.
And they don't know how to stay strong. And they don't know how to stay strong. Yeah. Don't keep on doing what you're doing. Get where you're going to be. And you're going to have that woman. You're going to have one of the women that's going to appreciate her man not going to jail.
You know, they had a special on CNN the other night about Obama and his foundation. Really interesting called.
Yeah, I saw it.
A man. If I had to go through the stuff that young people are going Good night. Yeah, okay. If I
Power to the
go
people.
through,
Love you, Magnetic Vortex.
if I had to go through the things that the young people are going through now, I don't know that I would have made it. You know, they
It's
talk
a
about
lot of us.
Come
You'd be
on.
surprised how many of us didn't make it though.
Come on.
You know?
right.
Yeah, but what differentiates women like myself, Suzette, um, Patty? What differentiates us from the women who like to shine? Because
Because you worked for yours.
that
You
never
worked for yours.
influenced us.
You worked for yours, and you know the benefits of working for yours and making your own. You don't need it from a man, okay?
Right.
Oh, you had an example.
If he wants to give it to you, that's fine, but you can get your own, okay? That's
Like
what
where you said
difference
that,
is.
Greg. You said you work for yours. You didn't say independent.
Independence.
Nope. We're gonna leave that out the picture. We're gonna say you work for yours. You getting what
And
you
you
want.
had you
know
had
what
an
I'm saying?
example too. You had an example that so you ain't
Well,
got to
you
deal
know
with
what?
that.
And I don't. The definition of independent to me is not what most people throw it out to be. Like what
That's why I said you didn't.
what
You didn't say
Greg just
independent.
said does not mean independent, because I was married for 17 years, my first marriage, and then I was married for 17 years again in my second marriage, and now I've been with Robert for 4 years. So am I considered independent?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said I'm glad you said it the way you said it, because you didn't say independent.
Yeah, you
You know what
work,
I'm saying?
and
Because
that's the differentiation.
independence,
But that's what most
people
people
take it a whole
label.
different way.
That's what most people label a woman who works for their own.
That's what I'm
They
saying.
label them independent.
Then they're wrong.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They wrong. It's not about independence, because remember was you on here when we had the independent conversation, and I had to straighten a lot of that out.
I believe so.
Yeah, it's not. That's why I said you said it the right way, Greg. You didn't say independent, because
Gina,
I only said that for the simple fact that it's two worlds. It's two different worlds. When a person thinks independent, they think period themselves.
Okay,
Right.
well, what's between being independent and having a plan for your life? Because that's what I had.
You just said it.
Uh-huh.
You just said it.
I mean, you did,
You
Suzette.
gotta
I
ask
mean,
the question. You just said it.
Here's the thing. And I think, look, you, Gina, Bella, Magnetic, Look Thinner, Angie, but hey, look, all of you guys, man, that's you guys are rare. You guys are a rarity. Okay, let's put it like that, because you do it for yourself. You've worked, you know the importance of working for yourself and having your own. All right. So don't ever be, if you are, don't ever question that, or even ask what the difference is. You don't need to know the difference. Okay, just continue to do what you're doing. Okay, and know that you do it the right way.
See, the whole thing, to answer your question, you say, what's the difference of the two? All right. What you said, actually, it pretty much defined your answer. You know what I'm saying? Real life, because you got goals, you're doing this, that, and the other, but you don't have to put a label on your goals. You understand what I'm saying? You said, what's the difference between having goals, getting what you want to do, this, that, and the other?
But if
independent don't mean just having goals and this, that, and the other. Independent mean I'm doing everything by myself. I don't need nobody to even talk to me or nothing, because I'm doing this by myself. If a man comes to my picture, I'm independent. I don't even need him, because I'm independent. Now, when you got goals, when you're saying I got goals, that don't mean that your goals are just strictly for yourself. That means that you're trying to better your situation, whatever. And if you do become in another situation with somebody else, it's the betterment of both, if that's what you want.
Well,
here's the thing too. Independent, and I just looked it up just so we can get a regular definition of it. It's not depending on another for livelihood or substance.
Right. But I still say to have a plan for your life is the basis of independence. You just can't be I'm gonna be independent, don't have a plan or any structure for it. I was determined that I was gonna have stuff, because I saw when my parents were together, I didn't think that I wanted to be like that. I didn't want to be dependent on anybody. I don't want to have to ask anybody for $5. I don't want to ask anybody to give me the things that I need. Not necessarily that I want, but the things that I need.
There's nothing wrong with asking for $5.
I know there's nothing wrong.
I got a simple question.
I know, but in the event that I don't have it, in the livelihood that I don't have it, I know I can ask. Yeah. But I love to be able to do it myself, because because if there's a problem, if there's issue that ever comes up, where if my husband, it can only be my husband ain't working, baby, I got you, don't worry about it. We're gonna do this. I did that during the pandemic for about 2 weeks. He was going nuts. I said, don't worry about it, it's gonna be okay, we're gonna be all right. And we were, but like I said, the difference between you have to have if you're gonna be independent, has a lot of steps to it, and you have to have a plan. When I was 22 years old, when I was 20 years old, my mother made me mad. I started saving money for my first apartment, and I moved out when I was
Did say thing, yeah.
And so when I was going to stay in an apartment, I stayed in a subsidized apartment on Fifth Avenue, and the rent would go up every year. And I said, well, dang, look, if I'm paying this much money, I should be able to get a house. I bought my house when I was 26 years old. That was something none of my friends were doing. They were all staying with their parents and the time and their money and stuff like that. And men are intimidated by that.
But you know what? I think what Uji was saying is that independent woman is the one who, and correct me if I'm wrong, Uji, I'm interpreting what you're saying. What you're saying is that independent woman is someone who says, I got my own, but I don't need a man in my life.
That part.
That I'm going to do this by myself. And that's not us, because you have a fiance. I have a fiance. We haven't took on the attitude that I'm just going to solely do this for myself, by myself, and I don't want anybody else involved in this plan.
Right.
Okay, now look, peep game. Now, from just the things that I see and the way I grasp the word independence, you know what I'm saying?
4 minutes.
A lot of women are the main people to use it, for one. All right. And it seems like with Beyonce, all the single ladies, you know what I'm saying? All that and different things of that, different things of that nature. It seems like it just makes you feel good when other things can make you feel good. Just saying you're independent makes you feel good.
It's empowering.
And you ride that wave. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like that's like a real wave for the simple fact that it's other ways of describing what you're doing and not really put nobody down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
I mean, ways of describing it to the point of where independent. It was glorified to a point of where it was just for women. Because a man don't go and holler.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? When men been independent for life, we didn't did everything, but we don't say, "Yo, I'm independent, lady."
I think it's sad because for a long time women didn't have rights.
But see, like I said, it makes you feel good.
Well, yeah, I guess some people.
Okay, yeah. So you're glorifying actually the wrong thing because you're making people feel bad. You ain't got to make somebody else feel bad to make yourself feel good. You gotta just do what you're doing and say, "Look, I did this. You know what I'm saying?
Well, look, we're gonna table this, all right? Because I want to get this back tomorrow. This is a great conversation, all right? Whenever we do relationships, we get into it. Look, nobody's mad at each other. This is expressing it. Gina called me angry. I'm not, Gina. I wasn't angry.
I love y'all.
You know me, Gina. Okay. I only talk about what I know, and if I don't know,
don't take it personal.
I don't. I gotta.
Uji, I'm gonna put a hair picture up since you called me out a bowl cut.
I'm back on you. Don't trip now.
Andrew, we're gonna start off with this tomorrow.
You got that picture up there. You gonna see all you see is skin and some hair.
We're gonna start off with this tomorrow.
It's called a bald fade, Negro.
Keep this in mind, people. Suzette, make sure you come back. Some of us was raised to be independent, but I've been told I'm too independent. Don't make a comment on it, y'all. We're gonna start off with that comment right there. Okay, tomorrow. Don't OG, shut up. I say shut up. He knows I don't mean it in a bad way. That's my little brother.
I ain't about to say shit. I'm cool.
But I know you got something on your head. Okay, right there for that comment. But
you gonna have to put me back in this mode, though. Out of me.
That's what I be getting messed up. I'm not remember how to get on here.
Y'all gonna warm up. Y'all gonna warm up to it because we won't start off with that. We're gonna bring it in. Gina, remind me, okay? We're gonna warm up. We got about 100 other questions that people have asked. Okay, but look, today we were talking about relationships and 101. I'll call it. This is the class, relationship 101. We're doing that this week. Uji, if you got the author, let me know when she's going.
Yeah, Wednesday. I was gonna say
Wednesday. That's fine. Okay. And Maurice, same with you. Thursday and Friday, if you're ready, we got the guys. Let's do our thing. Okay. But again, we're talking about relationships, man. We just want to encourage everybody to do the best things that you can to nurture what you have. Okay. If you can't nurture it, then the best thing to do is to let it go. But I think that there's a way, if the person was worth coming into it in the first place, there's a way to try to, especially if it's not gone too far, there's a way to try to solve that, okay, by communication. All right. So let's do a lot of that.
Before you leave, I think that, you know, some of these like viewers that be having very good questions and stuff like that. We need to have one guest a day. If they're gonna be on here, like enroll with us, we need to have one guest a day or something come on and interact with us, you know, on here.
Let's make
Talk
that
about picking out one of the people that's making statements and stuff.
One of the people that's making statements.
I can reach out.
Like Marcella or Magnetic Vortex lady.
Well, Marcella did try to come on. She had some issues, so she's going to try to come on.
And Bella's been on before.
Bella's been on before.
Okay, yeah, we need to start doing that. Just
Angie listens all the time, but she's new. Okay, fantastic individual, man. She has a lot to say. And everybody on here, man, has a lot to say. So we want to encourage everybody. Like, again, you know, love who you love, but respect and communicate. All right.
All right.
This is DopelivenTV Live. That's Suzette. Hey, she coming back tomorrow, y'all. Ujimar, everybody, power to the people. That's
peace. Peace.
Love you so much. Okay, thank you.
That's love and hair grease, baby.
Hold me down. All right. This is DopelivenTV Live. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right. Let's keep hope alive, baby.
All right.